I would never take my freedom for granted.
April Wilkins has had more than a quarter century behind bars to think about life outside of these walls.
I hope it's a future of tossing my grandbaby in the air and running with her.
Wilkins, now a 53-year-old grandmother, is incarcerated for killing her ex-fiancé Terry Carlton after she says he raped, handcuffed, and threatened to kill her.
As many of you are aware, we have made some police calls here in the past.
Now, the future beyond Mabel Bassett Correctional Center could be closer for Wilkins and other domestic abuse survivors.
We need to fix the domestic violence problem, but in the meantime, we need to make sure people can defend themselves.
The Oklahoma Survivors Act, being introduced this session by Senate Pro Tem Greg Treat, would allow the courts to impose lower sentences if abuse is proven to be a significant factor in their offense.
And we'll have to make sure there's guardrails on it, because we don't want everyone who's incarcerated to start making up facts. But this bill's very tight in the fact that there has to be documented, contemporaneous accounts of the abuse in order for the courts to take that into consideration.
That consideration may also be given to those already behind bars, potentially reducing excessive sentences for crimes stemming from victimization, like April Wilkins.
I keep going back to the quarter of a century, behind bars, and the time when it felt like no one was listening and no one cared. And so I can't say it enough that it is just a miracle.
Yeah, just to be clear, this is not a get out of jail free card by any means.
No, right. There's definitely going to still be some time inside. A lot of these crimes can end up being very serious. But because of our sentencing code in Oklahoma, it's often a mandatory life or life without parole if there was a murder. And so there's really no place to consider a lesser sentence unless we do something like this.
Attorney Colleen McCarty is a member of the Oklahoma Survivor Justice Coalition, who helped advocate for a similar bill last session that gained traction but ultimately wasn't signed into law.
It kind of ended up giving a voice to a lot of people's pain in ways that we weren't expecting.
Shedding light on stories locked away, in some cases, for decades.
We're mothers, and we're daughters. Or myself, I'm a grandmother, and we're human beings, We're not numbers. We're not property in the state of Oklahoma.